I would love if he was in the bathroom, right, and they were both at the urinal, and the dude looked over. Like, he looked over and he saw the caterer. He's like, "Whoa, buddy, wow!" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I did this myself. I injected this thing, like, hey, I could do it to you too. I'm a surgeon." And then
What it does is it causes granuloma. It makes this hardening around your thing, and I'm like, wow, that sounds like it's like this guy has like medical terms, and yeah, let's go. Let's get ready to podcast. This is the Working Perspective Podcast, the only place you go for news that makes you feel like a normal human being. In the blue corner, hailing from Virginia, fighting out of and standing at 5'11", weighing in at a solid 230 pounds. Scrim, the scorpion smoking scrapper Liam Reese. And in the red corner, standing at not 6 foot, 230 hairy pounds, hailing from the woods of the Pacific Northwest as Sasquatch's cousin, the meat missile himself, Mr. Matthew Lavelle. Now, as it's all set, I, strong stem student Cabot, shall be the referee in this heavyweight battle. Little light in the ass to get involved with these two, but he's here. So, my friend, Scrim Scrapper, how we doing tonight?
Dude, I'm great. We're hearing the scorpion smoking that start to make a comeback. The last couple of weeks, I think we talked about this. And I'm pretty impressed. You could do the thing like at the fair, where like guess the person's weight. You're pretty good, man. Good guess.
Mr. Sasquatch's cousin himself, the hairiest man I know, my brother, my friend Matthew. How are we?
And Steve, I love this energy, man. Love it, love it. Let's keep this going. I'm ready for this. Let's do this, baby.
Let's go.
It's our objective to be effective by voicing societies. Working perspective is for today, and how you get paid. Launching a new episode every Tuesday. Drinks on while we inform. Weekly episodes available on every platform. So check out our vibe and how we get live. Do us a solid. Share and subscribe. Which will show it. Which will show it. Which will show it. Working perspectives.
All right, hello. This is the Working Perspectives Podcast. On this show, we're going to bring you topics from around the globe. The topics will fall under 3 different categories. The categories are Stupid Is as Stupid Does, Incredibly Incredible, and Sports and Speds. To kick us off with the first topic, we're going to go to Liam Lashmize Reese. Liam, what do you got for Stupid Is as Stupid Does?
So we're just going to dive right in, dude. This one is a Polish karaoke show is being criticized after one of the performers used blackface and the Nword to imitate Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, no.
The show itself is called Your Face Sounds Familiar, and it features they have celebrity guests that will portray their favorite music icons in hopes of winning money for their favorite charity. Only problem is this Polish guy is like a white dude, blonde hair. It's 2023, and he went all out, dude. He did the song Humble and everything. And dude, not only did he do this, do blackface, he won. He won the show.
Stop.
So needless to say, this show's been just getting ripped apart on Twitter and everything. And when you see the picture of it's just this blonde, skinny white bull, he's 20 years old. And then you see the picture of him trying to look like Kendrick. Dude, it's so bad. It's so bad.
What? Where is this guy from, Liam? Is this are they in Poland?
Yes, this is a nationally televised Polish show. Like it's like when we watch So You Think You Can Dance or something.
Right.
Oh my God. They were Poland's Got Talent? Is this?
Yes.
Holy shit.
And Matt, he won first prize. Like he won the whole contest.
Now I got two questions. The first one, outside of actually, I don't know which one to start with. The first one, did he go hard R or did he drop it with an A at the end?
He did the A at the end. But
Okay,
I don't
doesn't
think
matter. You're a white guy. Doesn't matter.
I don't think that's
But-
scoring him any points. You know,
100%. And two, I mean, I'm just being honest. Did he kill the performance though?
Right.
Did he kill it?
I didn't get a chance to see it. It's a lot of like. So on Twitter, it's just like a picture of it. I'm pretty sure this Your Face Sounds Familiar TV show in Poland, I think they've done everything possible to wipe the internet clean of like any video that exists of it, you know?
Wow.
Because that's what I would do.
Yeah. No, that is just, wow. Shout out. Dude, it just got you get those Polish jokes like coming right away, like Polish submarine sunk because of a screen door, you know what I mean? Like all those stupid kind of Polish jokes are coming to mind, but this is, Poland being Poland, baby. Poland is like the Florida of Europe.
100%, Matt. This might explain me a little more. My grandmother's Polish, right? Her parents were straight off the boat. Tough, hard country. People like Jan Blachowicz, very tough, hard, proud country. And Poland doesn't give a F-U-C-K about what anybody thinks because they've been through the most. So makes sense that this would happen in Poland. Yo.
Man, dude, wow. This guy,
was the crowd cheering?
Yeah, I would love it. Barring the blackface, whatever. And then barring the, if they take out the Nword, right?
Yeah.
If they took out the Nword and he wore the blackface, but then just killed the performance,
yeah.
I think people would be like, it's okay. He's from Poland. They can,
Dude,
they
he
don't
did
know
like
any better.
whole thing. There's like backup dancers and everything with him.
Oh
like,
my
with
word.
like a video screen behind him. Like it's a whole like real performance, dude. It is nuts.
This guy's whole life was into this performance. Shout
and now
out to him.
And here's my issue. I would like to know who the judges on this show are because it's not his fault that he won. Who's voting for this guy?
Right. Well, is it one of those ones where the judges vote or where they call in the votes?
Or remember what's the show where they used to have like the little monitor? Idol. Yeah, and in your chair and like the live audience could hit the button.
Yeah.
There is a video on Complex. There is a video, and the crowd is just a bunch of white Polish people. They're dancing. They're loving it. They
don't even understand what he's saying.
They've never heard that song "Humble," but the beat is sick on Kendrick Lamar's "Humble."
Yeah, because it says they deleted it, but the internet is forever, and it's on.
True.
It's on
Yeah, you can't just have a live show and think it's never gonna pop up again.
Nope.
And then someone wrote they couldn't cosplay Eminem.
Yo.
That's funny.
Shout out Poland.
Shout out. All right. Good stuff, man. Great start, Liam. Let's keep it moving. Steve, what do you got for Stupid Is and Stupid Does?
So a 46-year-old German catering worker, I don't even know what that is, named Torben K has been arrested for falsely portraying himself as a plastic surgeon and causing death by grievous bodily harm. That just doesn't sound good, right? But it gets worse. Gets worse. Torben, who lacked any medical credentials whatsoever, administered a silicone oil injection to an unnamed 32-year-old man's penis and scrotum in what they call a girth-inducing surgery, even though it's not a surgery. So the prosecutors explained that when he injected this silicone oil into this man's penis and scrotum, it got into his bloodstream.
Oh my God.
And immediately causing a blood affection that then went to his liver and his kidneys and caused both to shut down. This man went into the hospital in the ICU, lived a couple of days, and then ended up dying, right? So these injections, what they do is it's caused granuloma, which is when they put these silicone injections, which have been used for a long time to like apparently add girth to your dong, it like the reaction builds up this hard layer that goes around your schlong. I don't know why they shot it in his balls. Makes no sense. But it like goes around the schlong and it makes it thicker, right? Well, they've outlawed this in many countries because this is just like there's so many side effects and weird stuff that happens. But this guy, I did this last week. What do you tell, like, if this guy had like family members, can we like fabricate the story and not say that I went out by a guy who's a caterer stabbing my penis with silicone oil so that I'll have a girthy? Come on, man. What is happening? What's happening?
I love if he was like, I was at this wedding and they had this cucumber display, and the guy was like, "Hey,
gave me an
idea. Get something bigger than that, And he's like, "How?" And he's like, "Just let me shoot you up in my van in the alley." You know what I mean? Like, that's insanity.
Trust me, I'm a surgeon. This works. No, dude, he's the guy that's serving the darn what do they call those little gherkins? He's serving gherkins. Yeah, and he's telling you he's gonna give you a cucumber. Come on,
bro. I would love if he was in the bathroom, right? And they were both at the urinal, and the dude looked over. Like, he looked over and he saw the caterer. He's like, "Whoa, buddy, wow!" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I did this myself. I injected this thing, like, hey, I could do it to you too. I'm a surgeon." And then
what it does is it causes granuloma. It makes this hardening around your thing. And I'm like, wow, that sounds like it's like this guy has like medical terms. And yeah, let's go.
Where is this at, Steve? Where was this at?
But it happened. He's a German guy. And the guy who had it happen was also a German fella, but it wasn't in Germany. It was somewhere else. They're at somewhere in Europe, only in Europe. But I know that it's outlawed in the UK. This is like the oldest form. Budapest. This is the oldest form of like, I guess, thickening your hog. For lack of a better term, but this is their thing. I don't know. So a lot of places outlaw because they know that like infection comes, and then immediately what they do is they accidentally hit something that goes in your bloodstream, and next thing you know, your liver and kidneys go. I know your dong sticker, but we quit. We quit. So good luck with that thick dong in your casket.
Yeah, we're not processing silicone, pal. Sorry. Wow.
And I don't want a needle like touching it or anything, dude. You know what I mean? Like, dude, everybody wishes they were packing like a little bit more,
Of course.
But I don't need like a tube of window caulk like squeezed in there to make me.
Here's the big question I had. Why in the balls? Why in the balls? Yeah. Most guys, when you get older, we're older fellers. I'm like, you know what? I wish my balls didn't hang to my damn knees, because all they do is, when I was a younger feller, they were shorter and tighter. As you get older, gravity does its thing, and then bad boys just start to hang, and they're always in the way and banging into stuff, and there's a pain in the butt. I don't understand why he would want his testicles to be larger. It makes no sense to me.
Dude, maybe he vapes a lot. Did you hear? Like, if he now they said no, I'm dead serious. Now they're saying vaping will like shrink your testes and mess with your testosterone and all that stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, the big thing that Rogan had a scientist come on Rogan's show before and talked about the microplastics that are in all like foods and in the air, and everybody's ingesting them in fish and everything. And what they've learned is that over the last 1,000 years, our taints are becoming smaller. So your balls are becoming closer to your butthole, and that's a direct effect for reproduction. So that's why more men are like sterile, and because of the microplastics. And it was wild, but the outcome we got, and that obviously Rogan's a comedian, the outtake they got was that everyone's taint is shrinking, so your nuts are getting closer and closer to your
Could you imagine if it was going the other way?
Yeah, not good, not good. Not good, Matt. Not good.
I'm just saying, like, if it got to like really long in between there, like, that'd be
where my dong's on my belly button and my buttholes in my lower back. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah. It looked like a car tire under there. It's brutal. Yeah. Nice. Good stuff, Steve. Good stuff. Let's keep it moving. I want to get to incredibly incredible. Liam, I'm gonna go back to you. What do you got for incredibly incredible?
So we've been hearing a lot about like aliens and UFOs and everything.
Sure have.
Yeah.
So in Mexico City, Mexico, alien corpses were shown to Congress, to like Mexican Congress, as a U.S. UFO expert was forced to testify under oath, like in Congress, not in like, United States, but still, it's alleged non-human alien corpses. Dude, they had them on display in these like weird, like tanks, like weird plastic cases, like you would see like, mummies in and stuff, like when you're at the museum.
Yeah.
And so they retrieved these things. They were in Cusco, Peru, and they presented them in Mexico City. And this guy like had to sit there and under oath say like, that he believes they're aliens. They put him in an X-ray, and it looks like one of the aliens had like either eggs or something in it, like it was reproducing. they're dead. The two aliens that were like you know, on display are like mummified and dead, but they had like, you know, they the DNA didn't match like anything like in our world or anything, but that's what they're saying. I mean, obviously, just because you're under oath doesn't mean you can't lie under oath, but it's pretty wild. It's the first time I've seen anything where like you know, where they had to like testify in any kind of like court for UFO. You know what I mean?
Dude.
Or for with actual like
Wild.
something physical. You know, I know they've had like obviously they know about UFOs and whatnot, but I'm saying like this is the first time I've seen a report where they have like something physical. You know,
That is nuts, dude. Absolutely nuts. I mean, that's kind of scary, but like, you know, we knew that the aliens were out there and we knew that they were coming and we knew that this was going to happen sooner rather than later. So I don't know.
Well, the crazy part is, again, I'm going to go back to a certain podcast that I may or may not listen to, but they had another guy on who talked about how there was no real sightings. And remember, the further back you go, people always paid attention to the skies. Now we're so lost in touch with cities and you can't even see the stars because of the lights from cities, blah, blah. Real alien, the number of alien spottings or people that have seen them absolutely skyrocketed after a certain event in the world's history, right? And they all happened over very certain spots. And that certain activity happened to be when we dropped the bombs on Japan, right? The atomic
Hiroshima,
bombs.
Nagasaki.
Yes, Big Boy and whatever the other little whatever. Second that happened, 95% of the sightings of all UFOs happened over U.S. bases that people did not know. Obviously, we know now, but like very, very secretive bases where they do super secret like weapon testing and everything
like
else.
Roswell and all that.
Of 100%. So like when Rogan and them, they were like, yo, they came and the second they almost were like, they watch us like we watch like animals in the zoo and how they like interact and everything else. And then when that happened, they were like, oh man, let's go check up. What are these morons doing down there? These stupid apes that now care about all types of stuff now have these weapons. We got to show up and maybe calm these dumbass apes down a little bit. Like, let's see what's going on here. Let's at least monitor the situation so it don't get out of hand. So he was always like, you know, a ton of people have brought those points up that all of the sightings, like 95% of all sightings came right after World War II and all came over, a majority is over the bases of America and all that area. So that's, you know,
I mean,
it's
to
a
be
weird
honest,
fact.
too, like, you know, there was like, I think there was like 40 something patents that were like their aerial patents that were developed during World War II. So the planet like kind of shrunk as far as like, you know, there was still shit that was kind of untouched by normal society. And then now with the invention of like, you know, adapting airplanes and jets and stuff like that, the planet kind of shrunk. So, you know, if there was aliens hiding out somewhere, they're not as hidden anymore just because we were expanding as a collective culture as well. So, I mean, but
people did always pay attention much more back in the day to the skies than they do nowadays. No one gives a crap about the stars. Back then, they paid a lot of attention. And there was never like these, like we see like ships in written history until that happened. And the other big one is too, you got to remember, we went from the Wright brothers 40 years after they invented flight. We're already dropping nuclear bombs out of these things.
Yeah.
We went from that like barely moves plane to dropping the most sophisticated bombs in the world's ever seen out of them.
You want to hear something crazy? You're going to love this. One of my clients that I teach boxing to, I train him. And I was talking to him. He's older than me, and he fought in the cage and stuff too. I think he's a brown belt or a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. His name's Jamie Allbach. Super great guy. Love this guy to death.
Shout out.
But I was talking to him. I was listening to the Sean Ryan podcast, and on the Sean Ryan podcast, he had a Iwo Jima veteran on there. And it was a fantastic show. And I was talking to Jamie, and he had told me that his dad flew 36 B-52 bomber missions in Europe.
Wow.
36. They had like I think it was like the average lifespan for a B-52 bomber was like, you know, like one flight or something like that.
Specifically,
or 5 flights. It was,
you know why, right? Specifically the fact that radar was not what it was now. So you had to see your target. So if I could see you, you can see me. So they can just light you up from the ground. Like those guys were giant. They
had to be close to hit them.
They were probably taking those weird synthetic oil injections because their balls were so big to be able to fly. You're out of your
Also, too,
damn
could you
mind.
imagine he was like 19 when he signed up? It was
Unbelievable.
World War II.
Unbelievable.
19. So by the time he was like 23, he had flown 36 combat missions.
Unbelievable.
That's
one of the
insane.
one
That
of
is
the plane
insane.
one of the planes got shot down and they had to escape out of Germany.
Unbelievable.
He hit in France. He dropped a bomb on Hitler's like his headquarters in France.
Is this guy still alive?
No, he died.
I was gonna say, can we please
You
get
know.
him on the show? I
Oh,
need this
dude,
story.
I would love that. Jamie said he doesn't want to be on the show, but that shit's fascinating to me. But we talked about this long
Unbelievable.
enough.
Yep.
Real good stuff. Let's keep it moving. Steve, what do you got for Incredibly Incredible?
This one is one of my all-time favorites because talk about a gangster. So 69-year-old retired surgeon Scott Burke had his 80-foot yacht docked in the Nantucket Harbor up in Massachusetts. The well-respected 35-year career surgeon that had a few party favors on his yacht had a couple of the DEA agents run down on his enormous 80-foot yacht, by the way. 80-foot yacht. It's so ridiculous. They ran down on his yacht when it was in the harbor, right? Because someone put in a phone call, said there was a girl. They think she's like too intoxicated, blah, blah, blah. So they run up onto his yacht, and what do they find? 43.4 grams of blow, 14.1 grams of ketamine, Special K, shout out, 2 pistols, a 380 and a 9mm, both Smith & Wessons. Great choice, by the way. So, of course, he immediately hires a famous attorney who this guy's name is Henry Brennan, who's a famous Boston lawyer. And he actually was the lawyer for Whitey Bulger, right? Big time guy, knows his stuff, like famous. So he takes care of it. He goes in there. They all talk about how they said he had prostitutes on there. None of these girls, that was never proven. They were just hot chicks on an 80-foot yacht. What are you talking about, right? So trying to act like these girls were like, no, we're not fucking this old man. Like, he just had his 80-foot yacht and we're out here partying. So he also has 43 grams of blow. So the court...
Yeah. We didn't have to get paid to show up.
And 14 grams of ketamine. We're here to parties. Chill.
Woo.
So he gets in the court. The court is like, we're going to hammer this guy. So the lawyer, being the lawyer he is, then explains to them, this guy's well-respected. He's from Colorado, lives in Florida, but drives this yacht up to the Nantucket because he's a house up there. This guy's got bread all over, right? He was like, look, the real part of this is the man has a rare stage 4 cancer, terminal. He doesn't have much to live. He's out there having a good time, right? This guy has done all types of crazy work. He was the second doctor in 2010 for free to have feet on the ground in Haiti when they had that ridiculous earthquake and like all that crazy shit happened. He did surgery down there on over 150 people, and over 100 of them being little kids that he did life-saving surgeries for free in a third world country. Second doctor's feet to hit the ground down there, right? This guy's a gangster. Also was bought out. This lawyer brings out all this stuff. Sent millions of dollars to all types of institutions for the betterment of medicine without ever. He always refused a plaque, always refused his name to be put on anything. He would, because he doesn't want to be part of. He's just this guy's the man, right? He's 70 years old. Has terminal cancer. Yeah, he has 2 kids and a wife, but he's out there partying with the hot bitches on a boat, trying to get crunk. And these guys are shitting on his parade, right?
Wait, he has terminal cancer?
Stage 4 terminal.
Oh, dude, then why even bother? Let the fucking guy go.
100%, because they wanted to hold him till trial, right? So his lawyer goes, this guy who's did all this amazing stuff, you're going to let him die of cancer in here instead of letting him go home, and we could like run this trial. It's nothing. There was no craziness, right? So of course and by the way, he did have a permit for the 2 guns, but it accidentally expired like 6 months before they got him. Guy's 70. Like, he gives a fuck. He also has terminal cancer, right? So him being this legend, I mean, let the man party, right? What would you do if you were 70 with stage 4 terminal cancer?
Yeah. Here's my problem with this story. So the DEA is devoting like time and resources into this guy who like has, for up until this point, done right by the world and done right by society for that.
100%.
You know what I mean? So like, because he wants to kick off, like blow some steam off. This is just it sounds like a lot of drugs, but it's for rich people. It's not.
No.
You know what I mean? He's just got some party favors. Meanwhile, like all that weird fentanyl and trank dope and everything just like freely moves like back and forth, like into every fucking city in America and everything. You know what I mean? It's just nonsense, dude.
Yeah. I
And
could
I mean,
not agree more.
another big thing was this guy, like when they were talking about how he did this guy was such a good person. There was also points where they had almost 30 material witnesses send in letters about how every other doctor they ever went to guaranteed they needed a surgery. Otherwise they would be, really, really in bad shape. And this guy refused it because he didn't want to. He could have made a quick buck for sure. Could have made a killing on each one of these surgeries. But because he loved his patients, he was like, I really don't think you need to do this. I think like A, you need to change your diet. B, you can do this, or you could do like this guy was a straight up real person, a real doctor that we lack in society nowadays. It doesn't want to push pills on you, doesn't want to push all this BS on you. But then he has a real talk with the person, and they were like, dude, he was like a second father to me. The way he would give me advice about how to like move and shake in life and what I needed to do to help whatever was with me, instead of going right away, do this surgery, do this, which he could have made a killing with anyway, but he didn't do all that. He was the man. Like,
sounds like a stand-up guy. Let him rip lines,
dude.
100%.
Also, this guy
let him go in a K-hole.
Well, the guy legit is like, I'm going to die soon.
Mm-hmm.
I want
very soon.
I want to bang hot chicks. I want to blow shit up my nose. I want to party on an 80-foot yacht. Wait, who are we? Who are we as a society to say, no, man, live your best life. You're on the way out. Just do your thing. You're not hurting anybody.
Especially a man who didn't just not hurt anybody, saved hundreds of thousands of lives with his practice and what he did and philanthropy and everything out. Like, come on, man. What are you talking about?
If there was a thing too where it was like, hey, check mark off all these things and you can get a free pass on this.
He gets it. Front of the line.
I would say like, yes, this worked. Free pass.
100%.
Saved hundreds, gave away money, donated, saved whatever, let this guy, like, he's going to die. And he wants to party before he dies. No,
as a matter of
fact, no foul.
As a matter of fact, let me call that drug den in California that Leon did before. Let me call Jenna Starr. Let me call a couple other people, and we're gonna send them to your boat because you deserve a send off. You're a gangster.
Also, do you have room for one more?
Amen,
bro.
80-foot yacht. Yo, it said it had 4 decks. Each of them were like 60 feet wide. It had quarters for 8 guests and 2 shipmates, like captain and then like a worker. This thing must have been fantastic.
Also, if you're DEA, like he has less than a pound of total drugs, right?
Not even close to it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he has less than a pound. So if you're DEA, like this is a joke. Like this is a waste of your time.
It's a waste of our taxpayers' money.
100%. Like if anything, send the locals in. And guess what?
100%.
They probably all know this guy, and they probably all have gotten saved by him.
They're like, he saved my mother. Let him go.
Yeah. What a way. They probably knew about it and were happy to do it, but like he earned it, know? God
I agree.
Bless.
Shout out to a legend, man.
Shout out. All right, let's keep it moving though. Good stuff, Steve. Love this guy. Dude, I'll tell you, hey, Hunter Biden Award nominee right there, baby. Hunter Biden Award nominee right there. That's for damn sure.
Forget that. This is a Nobel Peace Prize award-winning nominee, in my opinion.
Yeah. Do you know, hey, here's some, I don't want to get off topic, but do you know how the Nobel Peace Prize came around? You know why they call it, like, do you know why so Arthur Nobel, right? You know why he invented the Nobel Peace Prize? Do you know who he is? Because
he got a penis injection and it messed up his dong?
Nope. I believe it's Art Nobel. I could be wrong on the first
I think it's
name.
Arthur. No, I think you're right.
He invented dynamite,
right?
So his whole name was associated with this with dynamite, then went to be bombs and like all it just evolved to whatever and caused like so much devastation, destruction, and death. So his name was associated with the guy who invented dynamite, who was like all these terrible things. So he took all his money and he created the Nobel Peace Prize. So now his name is associated with some
great
someone
stuff
who makes the world a better place.
Good, because essentially he stole that technology from the Chinese because they're who developed So whatever. They're the ones who invented gunpowder, but whatever.
Right.
I get it. Yeah.
But he's the one that made dynamite. So whatever.
Fair enough.
But okay, let's keep it moving. Steve, I'm going back to you. What do you got for sports and sped?
Is the camera on me? Can you see me?
We certainly can.
Can you hear me?
We definitely can.
This one, I have a ton of customers because for those of you who don't know, we're very close to New York. I have all these fine customers, dorks. I have all these fine dorks, customers that come to my shop. And for the last 3 months have been telling me how Danny Dimes finally has weapons and how New York's finally going to be a team that you have to be aware of, right? Saquon's healthy. Danny Dimes has weapons.
The playoffs last year.
They're ready. They are up there. And then you on national TV and your own stadium lose 40-0 to Dak Prescott. This goes out to all you Midgets fans. Lick my silicone oil injected nuts because your team is dog doo-doo.
Yeah. That was a piss poor showing. I mean, if Byrne was here, golly.
Oh, I would love to lay it on him because, like I said, you know how many New Yorkers work at Merck and they come in here and they know we have Eagle stuff up all in the shop and they're always and then I try to talk some sense into them. I'm like, you know what? Danny Dimes ain't the bull. And they're like, see, he just doesn't have weapons. No, Saquon gets hurt and now Saquon's all healthy and they added receivers and they added this and then they go 40-0. Son, sit your New York ball-sucking ass down because you guys are absolute horseshit. Stop it.
As of right now, they are the worst team in the league. That was the worst showing of all 32 teams. And
as a matter of fact,
prime time at home, by the way.
Name a worst game you've seen in a long time, both of you. Name a worst.
I can't think of a Giants defeat that was that big of a margin.
I struggle.
That has to be one of their tops in franchise history.
And that's a proud franchise.
I'll tell you,
in the biggest city in America.
One of the best Giants losses ever was the miracle at the Meadowlands 2 when D-Jack ran back that punt.
They told him not to punt it to him, and then he fumbled it when he got it, and then picked it up and ran it back. And then
that was actually
Coughlin lose his mind.
Threw 4 touchdown passes that day, and they still lost.
Coughlin snapped.
To me, that was way more respectable because that was actually
100%.
a game.
It's a game.
Correct.
They lost the game. Play. They walked out on prime time, and they lost the second they stepped foot on the field, dude.
Hold on.
Already lost. That was so bad, dude.
This was also the day before the most tragic event. I'm not trying to shit on Pearl Harbor that the America's ever seen.
That
wow.
New York has ever seen. Yeah.
That America, the mainland of America has ever seen. The other shit's in Hawaii. Mm-hmm. The worst tragedy that's ever happened in American history on the mainland. And then just to be New York because your teams are doo-doo. Then Aaron Rodgers runs out with the flag in his hand, a spotlight on 9/11. I got choked up. I had tears when I was watching. I was like,
it was great.
And the Jets are corny, and so is New York. But it was such an awesome moment.
It was great.
And then,
it was great.
4 plays in, his Achilles says, "Screw this!
See you later, old man." Yo,
New York's down bad. Down
Hard
bad.
Knocks,
Yankees are garbage. Down bad,
dude. On Hard Knocks, they were dick riding so bad. Look at this motherfucker. He makes every motherfucking throw. Right? They were all, I mean,
him and Sauce Gardner got the weed smoke joint when they're
to be fair, Aaron Rodgers can make every throw. He is an incredible quarterback, but goddamn, dude, that is, I mean,
he's only won 1 Super Bowl, so whatever. People love to ride him. He's only won 1.
Dude, he can play.
I agree. But Gilly made a really good thing about this. Gilly made a whole thing about, no, he's a really good quarterback. I'm tired of people trying to act like he could be put in the same realm as Joe Montana, Tom Brady, Troy Aikman, any of those multiple Super Bowl winners. They're like, you're so great. How many? You only won 1? You have a pinky ring? Well, Tom's got a handful and extra.
Trent Dilfer won 1 too. FYI.
So that was literally Gilly's thing. He goes, Trent goddamn Dilfer won 1. What are you talking about?
Brad Johnson and Trent Dilfer.
Unbelievable.
That's the question. Would you rather be the best quarterback to never win a Super Bowl or the worst quarterback to win a Super Bowl?
Of course, to win one. What are you talking about? Yeah.
That's what people care about. I mean,
sure do. Doug Williams? Williams, the backup with the Reds or the Foreskins? Yeah. Come on, man.
Yeah.
The Force.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at Marino, he's kind of out of the greats picture.
Of course.
Yeah. And he forever will be. And that haunted Peyton for a while too.
Yeah, and then he grabbed 2 real quick.
Yeah.
He
got 3 total.
No, he has 2 rings, but he has 2 bowls. He only won 2. He won 2. Yeah. Eli won 2. John Elway won 2.
You're right.
All these guys. Oh, I know.
He
We already
went
over this
to
whole
3,
thing.
1, 2.
Yeah. No one cares about what you went to. It's about what you won. Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. No. I forgot that he had lost. I thought he won both ones with the Broncos, but he lost the one. He got crushed too, didn't they?
Destroyed.
Seattle?
It's terrible.
Yeah. And then they crushed whatchamacallit, but that was the defense that won that one.
Sure
with
was.
Von Miller when they went off. Yeah.
Sure
now
was.
I'm remembering. But they beat Carolina. And Cam Newton was never the same. All right.
Cam Newton would jump on the fumble, sissy.
Yeah. So let's keep it moving then. Lashmoosh, what do you got for sports and speds?
Speaking of horrific tragedies, these companies like never cease to amaze me how they can turn like horrible situations into like they will try to capitalize on that
with money.
So right now, DraftKings is apologizing for their 9/11 themed bets on the New York City teams.
Oh my God.
So Sunday night, DraftKings put out these September 11th, like never forget parlays and everything.
Stop it.
They had them up for about like, I don't know, maybe for a short period of time. And then like Twitter like blew up. You know what I mean? But so they pulled them down, but not before everyone got their screenshots and everything.
So disrespectful.
So people are like counting down the minutes until DraftKings pulls this never forget 9/11 parlay. It was a parlay that invites you to like, if you're familiar with these sites, when you log on, there's like, it'll tell you like, hey, this is our special today. You know what I mean? Like these are our special parlays.
Yeah.
And this one was the never forget. And
so it was the title of the parlay.
Yeah,
it was a 9/11.
It was the 9/11.
Okay. It had nothing to do with never forgetting or the numbers 9 and 11.
No,
it was just.
Tell them, the numbers get way worse. I saw this. The numbers get way worse. This is what makes it terrible.
It does, because you have to bet on the Mets, the Yankees, and the Jets, and you can get like a plus 911, plus 911 odds and stuff.
Well, did you see the one? Well, I think it was for the Jets that the over under for like yards in the first quarter were going to be 93, as in the flight that crashed into it. Dude. They got that's how in depth. That's how shitty they got with this. It was awful.
Some weed smoking interns thought they had the best idea.
That's from Kentucky and was 22. He wasn't even alive when it happened, so he's like, it's funny.
No, dude, speaking of grams of blow, that's not a weed smoking intern. Those are like the higher ups. Those are like the CEOs up there ripping lines like, dude, we got to do it classy, though. We'll call it the never forget. You know what I mean?
Unreal. I mean, I'll tell you that's the thing, though. Like, it's almost, I mean, in a way, it's like everyone knows fentanyl will kill you, but doesn't stop heroin addicts from buying. So, as much as FanDuel, this is a sore thumb in their eye or whatever. It ain't gonna stop motherfuckers from betting.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they canceled a lot of never forget parlays on Monday.
And I bet there's a lot of dudes that were happy they did.
Yeah.
So I watched a little bit of this, and I did see that there was like, I think when it got cut off, when finally someone was like, "What the hell?" and they were like, "All right, you're right, this isn't good." I think they had somewhere around like 1,900 people bet on the 9/11 parlay. It was a 3-leg parlay. One was happened to do with something with 93 for the flight. The other one happened to be with like all the numbers were like really significant about what happened, and it was so. I think one was for like the amount of hijackers in the plane. It was insane.
DraftKings, Liam.
This was DraftKings. Yeah.
Okay. Man, that's nuts. I mean. I mean, I understand putting something on there, like, in reverence to it, but this in a way, this is making a mockery of it. When you try to gimmick it like this, it was
the first week of the NFL. They didn't have to run any promotion. It's week one.
Yeah.
Kickoff weekend, dude. It sells itself.
Isn't that, I mean, isn't that notoriously the
biggest betting week? 100%.
Well, like,
because no one knows what's happening. They crush it.
Like the bookies usually do well, right?
They clean up. And now, just so they know, like, again, so it would be classy if they did something where like, hey, we're gonna double your odds for any New York team on this time or whatever, something like that. Instead, and by the way, for people that don't know, in the betting space, DraftKings is the biggest promotion there is. Like they're the NFL of betting, right? For like online betting. So they didn't need to do this. You guys are on top. Like, I understand if Sasquatch, scorpion smoking, strong stem betting wanted to do this so we can get on the map. These guys are the NFL of betting. Everyone knows. Like, you don't have to do this. Scumbags.
Yeah, you don't take it. Yeah, you don't try to monetize off of a tragedy. Absolutely not. I agree. That's
unless you're Oprah and it's Hawaii. I'm sorry, did I say that?
You're not wrong. All right. Good stuff, boys. Let's keep it moving. We're coming to the top of time. Strong Stem, what do you got before we get out of here?
Listen, we got a couple of fellers that I helped train. Just want to shout them out. Young Bull Gabe, Young Bull Pat that go to Real Thing Jiu-Jitsu, have an on-flow wrestling at Finishers coming up, big tournament. Was working out with them for their takedowns. Danny working out with their jiu-jitsu. They got some real matches going on. That's going to be live online. So they're in Flow Wrestling's promoting it, and they got like their little flyers and everything. And these two kids, they both went to the same high school all of us went to, and they're young studs. They're up and comers, and man, they're working hard. So shout out them too. And this is gonna happen, I think, September 24th. So shout out them two guys, and wish you well, fellas.
Nice. Love it. Very cool. Good deal. Always support that. Absolutely. Big fan. So nice. Leshmushma, what do you got before we get out of here?
Speaking of support, everybody out there, if your kid plays a sport, does cheer, whatever.
Tell him, Liam.
Steve probably knows exactly what I'm going to
Liam.
say right now. I sat there and saw like 4 rows deep of all these people in their lawn chairs and everything. And we couldn't even get enough volunteers to fucking work the snack stands and do the scoreboards and stuff. If your kids play a sport and the coaches and staff are asking you if you can volunteer, like it should be required. A friend of mine, his mom said back in their day it was required that you did, a couple games or whatever. But the fact that nobody does it anymore and it's like beneath them and everything, you're a crappy parent.
Sad, man.
This isn't like I couldn't agree more. My daughter just started soccer, bro. This isn't like hang out on your phone and let someone else babysit your kid time. Like, at least if you're not going to be a coach, maybe you don't know the sport. I understand that.
That's fine.
Right. But like, you can be involved in other ways. And like, you're 100% right, Liam. One of the prime example of this, I remember, and me and Pete would talk about this, is that Pete's dad didn't know a lot about wrestling, right? But what he
ran the snack bar.
He owned a deli for 30 years.
The snack bar.
He ran the hell out of the snack.
Sure did.
But
Shout
he
out
just
Mr.
did whatever
McCormick, legend.
Dude, yeah, exactly. He did what he could do to help support the team.
100%.
You know what I mean? The way, like the best way he knew how. Like, they're not asking for much. It ain't the worst. But you're not going to watch your kid. You're going to sit there with your head on your phone.
It's ridiculous,
right? Like, it's
dude.
such, I agree. I couldn't agree more. And plus, I mean, I don't know. Like, I think it's great to see the parents get involved. It's one 100%. Thing, like, don't be a dickhead to the coach, but like get involved and help, control the madness a little bit, or just cheer or do whatever.
And then they'll complain too. Like, what? There's no coffee. There's no, like, there's nobody here. You know what I mean? Like, what do you want?
Yeah.
It's just,
and now,
if you won't do it and the next person won't do it, then the next person won't do it. You know what I mean? Like, people are just shitty,
and just small and quick, Matt, the thing you said, it's so funny you said about the phone thing, because me, Jay, Romeo, and Liam were at the Squires Field this weekend. Shout out Jay's daughter and Liam's daughter who cheered. Great job by both of them. Liam looks at me and goes, "Look around, Steve." Literally said this verbatim. "Look around, Steve. Look what everybody's head's at." Every parent had their head down in their phone. Not even watching the game, not watching their kid cheer. And I was like, geez, Liam. He's like, this is ridiculous. I was like, him and Jay were like, this is crazy. This is crazy.
I'll tell you this. Say one thing about our parents, right? Like, whatever.
They were involved.
Maybe a little, but they were fucking there.
Yep.
And like, if there was a game, it was war, baby. Like, they were down to ride.
Let's go.
Like, cheering and getting everyone hyped up. Like, that was, but I think they enjoyed that as much as we did. And I think they liked seeing the competitive and like the camaraderie come out.
Camaraderie.
I really think they like that.
100%.
And it stems from the parents as well.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Plus, dude, like, I know, like, there was a bunch of times, like, they'd have a couple beers and watch the game. You know what I mean? Like,
sure did.
Why the hell not? Have a good time. But
and while we're on this tangent, Matthew, what do you have to say? Because we never get to ask you, and I feel like you're being left behind. What do you have to say before we cut out to the fans of our fearless leader? What would you like to say, my friend?
Well, Steve, thank you for asking that. First, I would like to say thank you to everyone for listening and helping to grow the show. We have gone up in subscribers across all platforms. So thank you very much. Thank you for commenting and subscribing and liking everything. I mean, we've been doing a lot. I do want to say this. I should make this a public announcement. So
I'm gay.
For those of us, okay, Steve's gay, but I think we all already knew.
Jesus.
So I know for those of us that follow us posting, your boy hasn't been posting the screenshots of when I wake up in a little bit.
I'm so proud of you, dude.
The reason is a couple weeks ago, I had to go to the ER because I had heart palpitation because your boy was wasn't getting enough sleep.
Because your boy's running 100 miles an hour with no gas in the tank.
Is that what they told you? It was because of sleep?
There's a bunch of things, but
yeah, that's one of them. Yeah.
Sleep, overwork, stress,
life.
All that kind of
yeah. Life.
But yeah.
Well,
man.
Matt, I'm here to tell you, you made it. You live in a great neighborhood. You're providing a great life for your daughter and your wife.
Appreciate that.
Let's not kill ourselves by waking up at 2:40 whatever in the damn morning for no reason. Sleep, my friend. Me and Liam need you to sleep.
Very true. You're not wrong. So for those listening that follow us on socials, that is why.
Shout out Sleep.
We love everyone that shout the hell out to Sleep.
No one loves it more than you.
Yeah. We love everyone that gets involved and is along the ride with us. We can't thank you all enough. So the other thing I wanted to say is that my daughter, right, is doing soccer right now.
Nice.
And the other day I was helping coach the soccer team. I'm not considered a coach. There's a head coach and assistant coach, but I'm just there like helping. It's herding cats. They're
you're being a good dad is what you're doing. Matt. You're being a good dad.
They're between 3 and 5. Right. So it's like we're herding cats. I'm just trying to, exactly. So we're in the middle of this practice and we finally have them doing like a drill that seems to be working, right? And it's like this is the most that they've cooperated and listened in a week, and everything's going good. Then all of a sudden, one of the girls looks up, points at the sky, and like starts hysterically yelling "rainbow." And she's like,
"Oh no!"
And then legit, there's 4 other teams on this field. Every girl looks up, starts pointing and yelling "rainbow." And it was like, I was looking at the coach. I was like, what the? He's like,
just let it ride. Just let it ride.
Yeah, I was like, all right. I mean, they're all doing it together. So
we can't beat a rainbow. We can't beat the rainbow.
There's
so what are we gonna do?
There's no beating a rainbow.
Cat's already out of the bag.
Yeah. For between 3 and 5-year-old girls, there's no beating the rainbow.
Nah,
ever.
And me, because I'm gay, can't beat my rainbow. But let's go.
We got the first game this Saturday, so go Lime Green.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Where did they position your beautiful daughter?
I mean, there's no position. It's just like it's one person starts. And
I'm with it. I'm with it, guys. I'm with it.
4-on-4, so it's they're
attack
just
the
all
ball.
over. Honestly, I'm really trying to tell her, please do not pick the ball up with her hands because she's going to get kicked in the hand. Like,
is there a goalie, or they're just learning like the basics of the game?
No goalie. Yeah. Dude,
okay.
I'll tell you, dude. I was like,
tell her to tackle people.
They're a little too advanced.
Slide
I
tackle.
think.
Yeah.
Like, they
tell
were
her to kick him in the
like,
knee.
did you ever see the Ronaldo move where like they stand with the ball in front of them and they like loop their legs around the ball? They were showing them that the other day.
Well, chill, coach.
Who is gonna do this?
Yeah, chill, bro. Chill.
If any one of these girls do this, I'll give them $1 million.
Yeah,
and
chill.
Guess what? I still got I didn't have to give anyone $1 million because no fucking 4-year-old's gonna do that.
Yeah, they need to learn that you got to worry about them going the right direction and you know what I mean, kicking the ball.
Know what team they're
also
on.
Like it's not like also I will say they're always
in their own goal. You're like, hold on,
none of them are going to the right goal.
Easy with the Ronaldo stuff. We just need to get in the right goal.
Also, I will say this: there was one boy that showed up that was the same age as the girls and was the best athlete on the
dominant.
field and wasn't even that good of an athlete. I'm just saying there is like there's a thing. I don't know. What do you know? Maybe he is a star, but they just some of these girls are it's just not there. But either way, Speaking of
Shout
kids
out your daughter,
soccer,
cuz.
Yep, shout out. Speaking of, this has been another episode of the Working Perspectives podcast. I'm Matt Lavelle, accompanied by Strong Stem Steve Cabot, Lashmize, Liam Reese. You can find all our stuff and all our content on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Work Perspectives Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at Work Perspectives Podcast. And join us on Twitter and TikTok at Working P Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workperspectives@gmail.com. And please like, subscribe, so we keep bringing this sweet, sweet content. Thanks for listening, and have a great weekend. Thanks. See you. Oh, and stick around for Let's Get Retorted. All right, bye.